Somewhere in your life, there is a person who makes everything about themselves, manipulates without guilt, and feels absolutely nothing when they hurt you. You probably already know who it is. Psychologists have a name for the combination of traits that make someone genuinely dangerous to the people around them. They call it the Dark Triad. And understanding it may be the most important thing you ever learn about human nature. The Dark Triad combines three distinct personality traits: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. Each one is dangerous alone. Together, they create a personality profile that researchers describe as subclinical, meaning the person is not diagnosable or institutionalized, but functions normally in everyday society, in your workplace, in your relationships, possibly in your family. Psychologists Delroy Paulhus and Kevin Williams identified this cluster in a landmark 2002 paper published in the Journal of Research and Personality. They found that people high in all three traits share a consistent pattern of behavior that reliably harms everyone around them. Narcissism in the Dark Triad is not simply vanity or self-confidence. It is grandiosity, entitlement, and a profound lack of empathy combined with an obsessive need for admiration. The narcissist in the Dark Triad does not just think highly of themselves. They genuinely believe others exist primarily to serve their needs. Research by Twenge and Campbell, published in their 2009 book, The Narcissism Epidemic, found that narcissistic traits have increased significantly in Western populations over the past 3 decades. The Dark Triad narcissist will use relationships as currency, discard people when they are no longer useful, and feel no guilt about either. Machiavellianism is named after Niccolò Machiavelli, the 16th century political philosopher who argued that power justifies any means necessary to obtain and maintain it. In psychological terms, Machiavellianism describes a person who is strategically manipulative, emotionally detached, and focused entirely on long-term personal gain. They do not act on impulse, they plan. A 2013 meta-analysis published in the Journal of Applied Psychology found that high Machiavellians consistently outperform others in competitive environments. Not because they work harder or are more talented, but because they are willing to manipulate, deceive, and exploit in ways that others are not. They read people exceptionally well and use that knowledge as a weapon. Psychopathy is the most misunderstood trait of the three. The Hollywood image of the psychopath, the violent, obviously disturbed loner, bears almost no resemblance to what research actually describes. Clinical psychologist Robert Hare, who spent decades studying psychopathy and developed the standard diagnostic tool, the Hare Psychopathy Checklist, and describes the psychopath as charming, manipulative, and completely without remorse. Crucially, Hare estimates that approximately 1% of the general population meets the criteria for psychopathy, and a significant proportion of them are functioning in normal society, in boardrooms, in politics, in positions of authority. What defines the psychopathic element of the Dark Triad is the absence of fear response, the inability to form genuine emotional attachments, and the complete disconnection between actions and guilt. They do not feel what you feel. They never have. Now here is what makes the Dark Triad genuinely dangerous rather than merely unpleasant. Research by Peter Jonassen and colleagues, published across multiple studies between 2009 and 2015, found that Dark Triad individuals are disproportionately successful at short-term relationship formation, career advancement, and social dominance. They are often the most charming person in the room, the most confident, the most compelling. They say exactly what you need to hear, and they feel nothing while doing it. A 2018 study published in Personality and Individual Differences found that people high in Dark Triad traits are significantly overrepresented in leadership positions. Not because organizations select for these traits deliberately, but because Dark Triad individuals are exceptionally skilled at impression management. They present exactly the version of themselves that gets them what they want. So how do you identify someone high in Dark Triad traits before they cause damage? Researchers have identified several consistent behavioral patterns. They charm quickly and intensely. The relationship moves fast because they need to establish influence before you can observe their behavior over time. They struggle to maintain long-term relationships of genuine equality. Every connection eventually becomes transactional. They respond to perceived slights with disproportionate retaliation. The ego is fragile beneath the confidence. They rarely take genuine responsibility. There is always an external explanation for their failures and a way to redirect blame onto someone else. And perhaps most importantly, they are excellent at identifying and targeting empathetic people. Research consistently shows that individuals high in empathy are disproportionately targeted by Dark Triad personalities because empathetic people are more likely to make excuses for bad behavior, extend second chances, and blame themselves when something goes wrong. Understanding this is not about fear, it is about clarity. The most effective protection against a Dark Triad individual is simply the ability to recognize the pattern early, before the charm has done its work and before the emotional investment makes clear thinking difficult. Drop a comment below. Have you encountered someone you now recognize as fitting this profile? And if you want to understand the specific manipulation tactics that Dark Triad individuals use most consistently, the next video breaks down exactly how they operate. Subscribe to The Dark Mind, because this channel goes where most psychology content does
not.